Hello. This is going to be my first voice recorded video, and this is going to be on my favorite coasters at Dorney Park. Dorney Park is my home park. It's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's a very good park. I like it a lot. There's a lot of really good coasters. You have Talon, Hydra, Steel Force, which I'll be talking about later. But this is my top 5 first recorded video. Can't wait to get onto the list. Here it is. So I'm not going to be including Woodstock, Wild Mouse, any of that, because that's just kind of like kiddie rides. I mean, Wild Mouse isn't really a kiddie ride, but you get what I mean. So let's just go ahead and start this top 5, because there's only 5 left. So let's go. So first up in the top 5, we have Thunderhawk, and to be honest, this ride actually is not that good. I really don't like it. It can be very rough. Whenever you're going up an airtime hill, it always hurts your thighs. Like, typically that's a good thing, but to me it's not. Like, when you're going up an airtime hill, you're not supposed to be going, oh god, no. No, you're supposed to be, like, happy. But no, the Thunderhawk it has really bad airtime. It only runs one train. The new trains they didn't really help. But Thunderhawk overall it's just okay. So the next top 4 rides are actually very good rides. They're in my top 10. I really like them. Then again, I only have like 23 credits, so they're in my top 10 just by default, basically. But number 4 is going to be Possessed. This is a very fun ride. Most people don't really like these types, but I really like them. It's my first and only launch coaster, surprisingly. That came to a shock to anyone. And I very much like it. I remember the last time I rode it, though, it wasn't as good. Like, it was very rough. Then again, I've only rode this in the middle row. I never really rode it in the front or the back. But I probably will sometime soon, and I can't wait to ride it, and, yeah, Possessed is very good. So now we're into the top 3, and these ones are definitely very good. I don't think they'll be leaving my top 10 anytime soon, but first up at number 3 is Hydra. This is a B&M floorless coaster, and for most of the time when I go to Dorney Park, I usually just ride in the very back. Like, I haven't ridden anywhere else but the back for a long time. It's for a good reason. That drop gives you a lot of airtime. Like, usually, I've heard that you don't get that much airtime on B&M floorless coasters, but that first drop gives you some really good airtime. It also has some good inversions. I'll be honest, the bottom of the Cobra roll can get pretty rough. The end of the ride can get a little rough, but most of the time it's very good, especially if you ride it at night. It's actually pretty smooth at night. I've gotten 2 night rides on it. One of them was very, very good. It was actually my favorite coaster at the time when I rode it that time. But, yeah, Hydra is a very good ride, and I suggest you don't miss out on it if you go to Dorney Park. So now we're into the top 2, and these are very difficult. It's very difficult to choose one. Most people have a different opinion than mine. But number 2 is Talon. This is the B&M invert. One of the 2 B&M inverts I've ridden, the other one being Great Bear. And Talon is definitely a lot better. I mean, for a little while, I did think Great Bear is better, because I have gotten a few bad rides on Talon, but I haven't really ridden in the front row. I've only done it once, because it's always, even though Dorney Park is never packed, the front row always, you have to wait a few trains. And usually, if there's an open spot, I'll take that, and usually it's the back. The back is very fun. It feels kind of the same, but the drop is a lot better, especially the pre-drop. That part is actually pretty good. It has a pretty good helix, and I think this coaster has also taught me that I don't really like forceful rides that much. Like, my favorite aspect of a ride is how fun it is. Like, that's a little weird, but especially if my favorite coaster is Sky Rush. I mean, that ride is intense. But I actually really like fun rides. Not really a fan of forceful rides, but Talon is still very good. It's the smoothest ride of the park. And yeah, Talon is very good. Yeah. And finally, number 1, and it's going to be Steel Force, the only ride left. This ride is very good, just like all of the other 3 rides I just mentioned. But this ride is definitely the best. Like, most people say that the B&Ms are better, but I don't know, I just think that's crazy. Like, Hydra doesn't even come close. And Talon, yeah, but Talon doesn't have something that Steel Force does, and that's airtime. Like, sure, Talon has a little bit of airtime for that dip, but Steel Force has a ton of airtime. Like, I'll be honest, the double helix, I'm not sure what it is, but it's halfway through the ride, and I think that's probably the worst part of the ride. The best part is obviously the first drop, but there are also other drops, like the drop off the mid-course brake run is awesome, all the other drops following it is awesome. I don't think the mid-course brake run is that bad. The second hill isn't as good as the first hill, but it's still very good. And it's definitely my second favorite coaster of all time. Like, it can challenge Sky Rush. Then again, I've only ridden Sky Rush in the middle row, and I only rode it once, and I was GP, so the memory is kind of, like, blurry. But, yeah, Steel Force is still very good. I very like it. I think it's pretty underrated, but it's definitely the best coaster at Dorney Park. So that's gonna do it for my top 5 at Dorney. I hope you guys like it, and if you guys really like this types of videos, I might make more as soon as I go to more parks. And yeah, that's basically my first recorded video. Hope you guys like it. I'll see you all next time.